Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 278. When we last left our heroes, Kurono kind of continued his fight with his Doppelganger, which he won, thanks to an attack that Oguro let him use where he summoned a bunch of dragons and, devoured him. It was really cool. Kurono is still a character that's weird and really uncomfortable. This idea that we're supposed to it felt like we were supposed to agree with his assertion that he's the better Kurono because he does what he does out of love was really weird, but whatever. That's over now. We get a scene that I think is supposed to be sweet, where he tells Nataku that he's the only one allowed to bully him, as long as the world is still here, and that's sort of where we leave off. So yeah, let's jump right on into Chapter 278, with Sho looking out over the devastation of the city. The city. Even with the threat of Fairy out of the way, we've got doppelgangers. And we have this image of Adola, and we come to Assault. Wreathed in smoke and flames, the strongest assassin sets off. And he says, setting off, Chapter 278, setting off. So yeah, back when the new doppelgangers were first kind of previewed, someone commented on that video that they thought one of them that I thought might be Nataku was actually Assault. And I was critical of the idea, as I thought Assault was just not important enough to really important enough in a meta sense to really warrant his role, or to warrant being one of the important doppelgangers on a level with Burns and Benimaru and Kurono. But I stand corrected. It was Assault. So yeah, he's here. He gives us a title line, which Fire Force does not normally go for. But yeah, I don't know. I have my thoughts on Assault. I think that Assault was a mess in his first appearance. I did not like that chapter at all. I think he fared a lot better when he was used for comedy, right around the Iris arc. But we'll see, because he is the perception of Assault, depending on who's the one doing the perceiving, he might be either, not the gets distracted by women super easily guy, or he might be leaning fully into that if it's, Tamaki and Iris's, or not really Iris, because she's not really around right now, but if it's Tamaki's perception, who knows? Assault is kind of a character we don't see a lot of, so we don't really know his general perception. But anyway, let's just dive on in. Okay, and we then cut to Tamaki, after our scan later page and our, by the manga page. We also got a note that Pusu is away for the moment, at least. It just says are away, it doesn't say if that's a permanent thing. Black Cat scanlations are handling releases for now. It's been on Black Cat's website for a while, but I just felt the need to point that out, at least. That for the moment, Black Cat is handling things fully. Anyway, we cut to Tamaki, who obviously in an Assault chapter is going to kind of be the focus. Maki looks at her. Tamaki, are you ready? We're heading out. Oh, yeah. And Obi calls back to the group. We've got wide-scale damage over in the metro area, so we're going to give them some relief. Roger. And then someone walks up. That won't be necessary, Company 8. Okay, here's Assault, because we see Tamaki who starts to kind of freak out, and we see the kind of definitive, I'm never even quite sure what they're supposed to be. Shoes or pants that go really far. They don't look like they have any feet at the ends of them. We see this with Sho all the time. His legs kind of look like stumps. So it's the garb of a white clad, at the very least, who says, "You're standing right at ground zero." And Arrow kind of reacts, and this is definitely an Assault. Important to note, though, is that the Doppelganger Assault was, at least appeared to be topless. He has something going on around here that, might be clothing, but his abs are, so defined there that it feels like it's either incredibly thin when it reaches that part of his body, or he's not wearing anything up there. But the Assault we see on page 6 is clearly wearing at least the collar. So it's kind of unclear. You're the assassin from the abyss, the bloody bullet assault. And we see he gets ready for his attack. He's not drawn in the stylized way that the Doppelganger was on page 2. So it's still a little bit unclear which assault this is. And Tamaki, who's kind of the only one here that has that much, Tamaki and Arrow, I should say, the only one here who has that much of a dynamic with Assault, reacts, Assault? You're still... And Arrow stops her. Wait, is that the real Assault? Huh? And so yeah, that's sort of the Arrow's like, is that a doppelganger? But Assault goes on, thanks to you, my reputation is in shambles. I'm here to prove my strength. So I guess this is some sort of revenge for Tamaki. But at Tamaki. But Arrow presses, Assault, are you a doppelganger? But Assault corrects, I'm the true Assault. Go ahead. Witness the truth with your own eyes. And Tamaki kind of presses, how the heck are we supposed... And she, like, steps on this, like, mechanical duck and slips on it. And her top flies off. Engaged! And she sort of looks at Assault when her top flies off. And Assault doesn't react. He's kind of recovered from his easily distractedness. Okay. So, I just don't know what the point of all this is. I'm again just not really a fan of Assault chapters trying to be serious. The one Assault chapter that worked was just, like, high farce. But I don't know. But there's this really funny moment, or a funny, like, framing of Tamaki just, like, holding her jacket far over her head. It's just sort of, like, it's one thing when it sort of flies off and, like, goes flying, but the fact that it's just sort of staying there is kind of a funny image. And Tamaki's kind of shocked. He didn't bat an eyelash. And Arrow, who also knows Assault. I love, though, that no one else actually knows who this guy is. None of these people ever met Assault. It's just Arrow and Tamaki who have this idea of this person. But Arrow reacts, that's ridiculous. It's impossible. And Tamaki notes, you're fake. A doppelganger. And Assault reacts, that might technically be true. But no. I would never falter at the sight of some Jezebel. Absolutely not. So there's a line there. That might technically be true, but no. Does that mean that he is a doppelganger, but kind of like Kurono's doppelganger kind of saw himself as the real one? Or is this saying that, like, it might technically be true that to most people it would be most people would think that it's impossible for him to never falter at the sight of some Jezebel, but he is trained enough that now the real Assault can do all that. I don't know, I'm almost certainly thinking way too hard about some dumb chapter, some, like, dumb joke chapter, but I don't know. And then, oh yeah, this is the doppelganger, because he then says, if anyone should be the real Assault, it's me! Which is the kind of thing a doppelganger would say. And then he then says, Assault's line from earlier in the chapter, setting off, now die! And he is doing the same thing we saw the doppelganger do, with the 3 missiles strapped to the bands, but these bands are white instead of black. Either way, he's throwing himself at Tamaki, and Hinawa readies his gun. Tamaki, get to cover! And Tamaki looks back at him as the bullet flies towards Assault, and explodes in midair. And Obi looks up, is that the guy who was obsessed with chasing Tamaki? So I guess I have heard a little bit about Assault, though, specifically Assault from his second appearance, because he was only obsessed with chasing Tamaki after that second appearance. Though, they never saw him, which is it's a nice little bit that, like, no one actually really knows who this guy is, except for Tamaki and Arrow, who was a white-clad with him. Either way, Hinawa responds, it seems his doppelganger's no different. And the doppelganger pops up behind Hinawa. We're nothing alike. Now die! And then Hinawa takes a missile to the back from Assault. And Maki goes in for a hit. Why you? How dare you? And she tries to throw a punch, but Assault just kind of does something with his finger, and it seems to kind of deflect off. Oh yeah, he's just kind of blocking with his fingers. He's apparently, I guess that the strongest assassin moniker is giving the doppelganger enough strength to just kind of easily deflect even Maki. Let's see how he holds up against Obi, though, who also runs after him. Arrow then fires an arrow at him, which Assault's Doppelganger sort of deflects off a single finger, still. And Vulcan just watches. I thought Assault was some chump who got done in by Tamaki's lucky Ledger lore. And Victor chimes in, I don't know the truth of the matter, but presumably the Whiteclads held him in considerable regard. Right, because the Whiteclads never knew about Horny Assault. They were the ones who built him up as the strongest assassin, only to have one of the biggest letdowns in the series. And so that belief is now sort of being channeled into the Doppelganger. Again, Doppelgangers are fascinating. They make some great content. Anyway, Arrow reacts. My arrow did nothing. And Assault just glares at them. Is this all you've got, Company 8? And Arrow continues, if Assault had unleashed his full abilities during the battle in the Nether, Company 8 likely would have been wiped out. If Tamaki's sex appeal doesn't work on him, then we can't stop him, even with all of us. And Tamaki sort of reacts, the real Assault was that strong? I mean, again, we don't really know. This is the first time we've ever really seen an Assault that is actually strong. Which could be trouble. It could be. But then... Oh, okay, hold on. For a second there, I saw the white hair and, like, the length of the sides of his hair, and I thought that was going to be Arthur for a sec. And I was about to get, like, really shocked. But no, I think that's Juggernaut, who calls, everyone fall back! And yep, we see that giant fucking missile he used in the Orochi fight, like, flying down towards Assault, and it explodes. Maki uses her flame human abilities to sort of deflect the explosion, and Obi's just shocked. That explosion. And it's Juggernaut! Noto of Company 2 reporting in. I'm here to back you up. And Tamaki reacts, Juggernaut? Why? Captain Honda's orders. He told those of us of Company 2 to take care of those important to us. I'm here for you, Kotatsu-san. Huh? Oh, good shit. One request. My big issue with the Orochi fight when I rewatched it in the anime is that I really wish Tamaki got more to do during it. It was a fantastic showcase for Juggernaut. It still is one of the best fights in the series. But, like... I want them to tag team. I want the two of them to tag team this fight. That's my goal. That's my wish. But also, apparently Honda's orders when he thought they were all dying are apparently still standing. Company 2 is largely freed from their military duties, and Juggernaut is here for Tamaki. Good fucking shit. It's some good fucking shit. But Tamaki's sort of stunned there and kind of blushes. An Assault emerges from the explosion. You think one more person will give me problems? I won't be subdued by sex. I mean, that's not really what Juggernaut is here for, but okay. He won't be subdued by anyone. The true strength of Assault, the bloody bullet. He'll shatter every obstacle. To be continued chapter 279, Suppressing Assault. And then we get a little ad for volume 30, specifically with the cover with Vulcan and Lisa and Giovanni Yu. We see pieces of the Rekka fight, Vulcan crying about you, and of course, the start of Arthur Dragon, which will be a lot of fun. Either way, let's talk about this chapter. Let's talk about this chapter. Because Assault is, as you know, a character I'm not particularly fond of. I am glad, though, that we're kind of seeing what Assault could have been, had it not been for one of my least favorite writing decisions in all of Fire Force. I do like, let me see at the end there, because I think Tamaki has put her shirt back. Yeah, Tamaki has put her jacket back on, so it won't just be her fighting in her bra. I was a little bit nervous about that when the fight started and she was still just in her bra. I was worried it'd be like that for the entire fight. But no, her jacket's back on, and yeah, I don't know. This video has just for some reason felt a little bit more rambly than usual to me. Either way, let's break it down. I think I already said that, but let's go for it again. Yeah, so we have Assault. We have what Assault could have been, which is incredibly powerful, especially paired with what the White Cloud... Because we've seen what belief in the strongest can... What just the term the strongest can do with the White Clads. or with Adola and Doppelgangers. And so, kind of what we have here is Assault. The belief that Assault is the strongest could make him even stronger than he would have been had he not been so unbearably horny. And, I mean, I hope Juggernaut can take him down. I'm hoping this is a Juggernaut and Tamaki real tag team fight, like the Orochi fight kind of promised. Because that would be great. I love me some Juggernaut. I love me some Tamaki when she's not being, sexed up. Hopefully this will be a great, great fight. Whether it ends next week or sometime after. Suppressing Assault is the kind of thing that could end the Assault fight. Or it could be like midway through the Assault fight. I don't know. I don't know how big this fight is going to be. Either way, Assault is back. He's incredibly powerful. And he ain't horny anymore. Or this Assault isn't horny. And Juggernaut's here. And y'all know me. I love me some Juggernaut. And I just want him to be happy and a good boy. Because he is, in fact, the goodest of boys. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!